Today I'm going to be explaining the best sliders and settings I have found for FC24 this year. I just want to put out a quick disclaimer. This is all completely personal kind of settings. It's what I've found to work the best in terms of how the CPU plays. It's also my play style as well. I'm a very casual FIFA player, so by all means, don't take any of these settings and look at them and laugh at them because some of them are a little bit, questionable. Obviously, this is for professional difficulty, so keep that in mind. This could definitely work with the higher up difficulties. It's what I've found to work the best with professional, and I've put about 6 or 7 hours now into FC24, so I've got a little bit of a feel for it. First things first, what I'm going to do is turn on player-based difficulty. What this is going to do is enhance the star players on the CPU's team. So this is going to benefit them with extra ball control, extra passing skills, extra shooting skills, and overall spatial awareness. All those kind of things that really matter. So your top players on the other team are really going to shine and stand out. Now, I have found for this year's FIFA, I don't know if they've changed anything, but I find it is very, very balanced this year. So you don't have to worry if this is really going to change too much. It's more you're going to notice which players are going to be completely focused and controlled on the ball. Now, moving on to the user sliders. So this is a very, very simple one. I haven't really changed many at all. I think I've only changed 2 or 3. So the first thing we're going to be changing is goalkeeper ability. So I've just put that up to 60%. Now what that is going to do is just increase your goalkeeper's effectiveness of saving shots. So I've just kept it a little bit lower just because I've found that the goalkeeping is very, very well done this year. I feel like your goalkeeper is in control. Positioning and marking, I've also put up to 55, and this is just going to increase your players' marking skills. So you're going to notice that your defenders will mark a little bit tighter and mark opponents just to intercept some runs. The position run frequency I've only put up by 2, so I've just put that up to 52, and all that is going to do is just slightly increase the chances of your team running when you have the ball, just to create more options. And the last but not least is first touch control error. So I've just put that one down to 46, and all this is going to do is just reduce the chance of your team once they receive the ball having an awful touch. Now there's nothing more worse than when you pass to a teammate and fumbles to the left or right and then you end up losing possession. It always happens to me in the crucial moments of a game, so I've just pulled that one down to 46. Moving on to CPU sliders. So the first thing I'm going to change is pass error. So all this is going to do is increase the amount of errors that will happen throughout a game with the CPU's passing. So I've just pulled that one up for 50 to 60, and all that is simply going to do is just increase the chances of your team being able to intercept the ball. Next up on the list is the goalkeeper ability for the CPU. So all I'm going to do is pull that one up from 50 to 70, and this is going to increase the goalkeeper's ability for the CPU's team. So what that's going to do is increase how good the goalkeeper is, which means shooting is now going to be more challenging. So when you do verse teams that do have an actual good goalkeeper, you will notice that your shooting will have to be tip top. Now play around with that one, especially because it is in terms of how well you are at shooting. So put that up higher if you feel like you need more of a challenge, put it down lower if you feel the goalkeeper is already perfect. Next on the list is positioning and marking for the CPU. I've just put that one down 5 points, down to 45 from 50, and all that's going to do is just decrease how often the CPU will mark you perfectly. So you will notice that when you go for runs, you will have a few more players that might be in better positionings without a defender near them, and that is just going to increase your chances of being able to score successfully. The positioning and run frequency from the CPU, I've just decreased by 2 points, just to 48. Play around with this one. I don't really notice too much of a difference between the 40 and the 50 mark. Anything lower than that, you will see that your CPU opponents won't really make too many runs. So play around with that one, give it a bit of a feel. You can even pull that one up if you want more of a challenge. And lastly, first touch control error for the CPU. I've pulled that one up 10 points just to 60, and you will notice that your CPU won't have perfect control of the ball that they do. You will notice that they will typically have some good passes going, and they'll be full power passes and complete 100% perfect ball control. Now this is very unrealistic, especially if it's within 5 meters and they're powering it up to the max. So you will notice that the CPU will have the ball and then they might fumble it, and then that gives you a chance to grab the ball off them. If you'd like a little bit more of a challenge, play around with the injury frequency. I've pulled that one up to 55, and that is simply because I play career mode and I do like the chances of injuries happening to my players. All this is going to do is the higher you put it up, the more chance of an injury happening through a match. The injury severity, I pulled that one up to 55 as well, and all this is going to do is just increase the chances of it being a super damaging injury. Now play around with both of these, especially just because it's depending on how often you would like injuries to potentially occur, and depending on how dangerous you want these injuries to occur, whether it's going to be a 2 to 3 week sitting out, or it could be up to 6 to 12 months sitting out. If you would like to be a little bit mean, you can also play around with the injury frequency of the CPU as well. I pulled that one up to 60 just because I do suck at defending, and I go into tackles that probably wouldn't be the greatest survival chance of coming out without an injury. So I pulled that one up to 60, and it's simply just because I do atrocious tackles, and I do like from time to time see an injury occur. Injury severity I've only pulled up to 55, same as the user settings, and that's just because I don't want it to be a career-ending injury for the poor player. Thank you so much for watching today. I really hope that these settings and sliders are a little bit of a benchmark into anyone that is playing on professional difficulty. I encourage you guys to let me know down in the comments of how you guys have changed some of the settings, because I'm always up for changing mine just to make it more of an enjoyable experience for me to play. Now, these settings are obviously personally based on myself. Now, I did make a FIFA 22 video quite a while ago, and I never got around to making a FIFA 23 video, and I apologize for those that did want that. So I really hope that this FC24 video can help anyone out there that is playing on professional difficulty and just not having the greatest of all times. So please comment down below, guys. I encourage you to just let me know anything that you guys have changed from mine, anything that you think that I should change even to higher or lower aspects, and just let me know of how your games are going as well. I would really love to see and know what everyone is up to with their games. Thank you so much for watching again, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.